Pretty cruisy today, guys. So we're just going to do a little bit of revision what we started to. This is lasso or loop choke. This is the first part, and it's a relatively aggressive style choke. One of the things about it is it's set up generally of my partner passing or attacking. So it is one of the chokes that, like, I'm not doing it from the guard trying to attack them. It's more of a, okay, they've opened up my legs, they're passing the guard, and this is a defensive, offensive mechanic to be able to either stop the guard pass or to submit your partner. Yes, but
could I ask that as a question? Would this be something you'd ever start with, or would it be a reaction to someone about to pass?
So this is a high percentage, and it would be something that you'd have as your
setup.
Oh, for sure. The downfall about it, like most things, is that if you set it and you don't get it, they're generally in a good position to pass the guard. Where, like, the cross collar choke from inside the full guard, you don't get it, you still have the guard, but that's a really obvious choke. So like it's the balance of things. There's a good balance. What we'll do is we'll add on the baseball choke on this as well. So that'll kind of be, if I fail, I've got this, you know, like it's not a last ditch, but it's a kind of hidden series, so it flows together. Okay, Ian, come here, onto your knees. So we're going to start the position for this one is Ian's on his knees and I'm seated butterfly guard. And what I'm going to do from here, perfect, is I have my hand, but it's a push mechanic. And what I'm doing, if you see, I've got the collar and I'm pushing the collar out, so I'm not slamming it into my partner's chest, I'm pushing it out. What I'm doing is I make a small adjustment, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand, I lift my hips, I slide out to the side. The biggest mistake I see people do is they pull forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make Ian's hands hit the ground, so I'm going to pull like a whiplash. Right. The hardest part now is I've got to keep my balance, but I've got to get Ian's head under my armpit. So what I'm doing for me, it's a small adjustment. The way I like to do it is I like to shove my hand down low, I like to hip escape and then push the head. So what I find from here, to push the head from this angle is sometimes quite hard to get the head all the way over here. So while his hands are on the ground, I make a small adjustment and I'm realigning my body. So I'm here and I realign, so I'm pretty much on top. And all I'm doing is cupping the back of the head. But you know, when I train the kids good doggy, you know, like a good doggy, you can either put your hand through or just cup. And what I'm doing is I'm setting my weight over my hips. So if Ian tries to push me backwards onto my back, I've got a pretty good play here. To make the choke work, right, stay there, is pretty simple. I'll make the choke work. So that's the kind of mechanic I'm using to make the choke work. So here, just pretty simple mechanic. The tighter that this hand is underneath the forearm, the better. And what I do like to, I see a lot of people, they get this and they sit backwards to complete the guard, to complete the choke. I do want to keep my weight forward. If at any stage I'm getting here and I'm not losing, and I find I don't have the head or I don't have the choke, let go, grab the arm and pull them forward to get the choke. So if I feel that there's a little bit of a fight going on, I go underneath, it's like a holding mechanic. So I cup, so again, open up the collar, slide to the side, whiplash, slide back under, head, squeeze, under, chin onto my hand and slow squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Corey, grab you please. What's the difference between a high grip and a low grip? It's the space inside the lasso. Right. So what I find for me is I get a high grip when I'm here. I find this really hard to push, like it's a really tight, and I can get the head here, but I can't shove it under. Where if I've got a low grip, I find I've got a really nice, and I can almost lasso single-handedly because I can actually lasso the head. This would be ideal. If I could do the single-handed lasso, that's pretty much game on. We're actually just talking about this a little while ago, and with Corey, and I do this when we do copy. It's one of my favourite setups, and we're just explaining. Corey goes, I haven't, like you guys, I felt the choke, but your setup, I don't see the setup. Goes, I think I'd recognise the setup if we did this. So the advanced and the plastic bag choke, right? I do this against high levels slightly differently, right? And the reason being is that once you've seen that choke, you've seen it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And you know, it's easy. So the way I play this is I do this. and it's like that. Like come around this side and stay there. So the way I do it is this, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of going like this, and I sit. So they'll kind of go like, I'll go to the inside position. And as they go to the inside position, I'll assert, and I actually get the choke. So because you're going to drive inside the space. Yeah, so I set this up at high levels the opposite way. And I get a lot of sweeps, because everyone kind of goes, I have to get up, you have to roll. So I get a lot of sweeps from this. We will come to this, but if I have this here and I do this, there's no way I can get the, because I don't have the space to like it. Yeah, right. So the same concept on this one, which is why I want the low grip. And the part that I'm doing is I want Corey to pass the guard that side. So we just simply make him an offer he can't refuse. Hey. And it's like, wow, that looks, so like, you know, would I do all the hard work and pass this side, or would I just push Adam's legs down and pass? So I'm like, oh man. So yeah, so like I'm like, oh man. And Corey's feeling pretty good now. Starts to pass the guard, and yeah, that's, so you can let them kind of pass to 90 degrees. And once they drop the head to get the chest, the choke's quite an easy choke. Personally, and it's only because we're drilling to get the mechanic right, I find this choke really hard to do from here. Because everyone's half savvy and they're like, you know, I've got that, and it's like, man, and they're going to grip fight. Yeah, you know, so I'm kind of like more like a, oh man. And everyone's like, oh wow, look at that. And that's kind of more the style I get on the choke. And it's less obvious, but I've got to make them come out. So the answer to your question was, if I have a high grip, number one, they're going to hand fight. They recognise the choke, and I don't get the lasso to be able to push the head, so it's low. Secondly is this, always, so I'm in half guard, doesn't matter half guard, whatever, I'm always offside, and I'm almost like push here. So they're going to go, look, there's this inside, and they're going to go to the inside position. Right. So let's just say that Corey's savvy and puts his head onto my shoulder, but I'm like, oh man, I don't have the choke anymore. That's an issue. Just block. Corey goes, I go to side control to pass the guard. Now, the choke's off. So it's not one of those ones I have to get it. I just have to put a block so that can't go to that side of the choke. How does that kind of open up a little bit for you?
Sure.
Okay, so chopped out. So this one, just to make it a little bit easier. One, okay, here, pop, thank you. And then, so this is an even better way, because I kick the leg, you have to post, and the choke comes on super fast. Low grip, here, pop, and now, if they roll, just kick the choke on. Let's try that, guys. 1, 2, 3. Just a little foot cook. Yeah, but it's just that you've got to play the game a little bit. So we're not doing it with you. I'll make you get so far past the guard that you feel so confident.
Yeah, that's always how I feel. Is that the next thing you don't do, right?
Shit coach, mate. Absolutely shit coach doing the people like that. Yeah. Due to this guy. Famous by Majid Hagi. His name's Gorilla Hands. He puts Clark Gracie to sleep in the IBJJF tournament with this choke. And we I don't know, probably about 6 years ago, all of our kids were training this and rocking it out, and the kids put heaps of people to sleep, like heaps, because it's such a unusual choke, and it's done from obscure positions you shouldn't be able to choke from. So what I do is I'll set the first choke up from a major position where we're in control, and then we're going to set the choke up from a minor position where we're not in control, and we're using exactly the same mechanic. So it's the biggest thing. The biggest, the concept is thumb and forefingers tied together, like I'm swinging a baseball bat, cricket bat, whatever like that. So thumb goes in, forefingers goes in, and grip. The part that I see people do is they treat like a normal choke, so they try and squeeze. What I want is I want to take my right elbow, or the palm elbow to the elbow, and I want to spin. So I need to get my elbows together to close the space up, and I want to spin. So thumb, forefingers, and I want to spin, so it's the bottom forearm that's doing the choke, and the top hand's pulling the head down. Right, so that's why the thumb's in, I've got a strong grip, and this one here, the 4 fingers is just holding. Okay, so baseball choke. Ian, come here please. We're at the same start position, so I'm from the seated butterfly guard, and what we're going to do is, I'm going to have my thumb in the back of the collar. I will explain this a little bit later about other positions to get this from and why we get it, but just for today, so from here, once again is I'm going to slide slightly backwards. I'm going to use my right foot to kick Ian's knee so that Ian gets his post on the ground. So slide backwards, my right foot kicks, and I put my hand this side. Okay. Because I've got space, this is the most important thing in this. I need to be able to spin. I put my head under, so exactly the same as all the sweeps that we've done where we go under, and my top elbow goes under, so I'm to put my elbows together. So once again, it's just the bottom elbow that's doing the choking, and the top hand simply to stop Ian from lifting his head up. Right, so it's more that I'm kind of going, pulling down with the top hand and lifting my top elbow up. What we want to do now is we want to bait our partner, so I bring my knees in and I start to turn to give the back. As Ian steps onto the back to get the back choke, you finish the choke. Right. So the amount of people that we've had on the people's backs that have gone to sleep. Right, oh, it's stupid. They get back control, get the hooks in, and then all of a sudden they're sleeping. It's a ridiculous choke. It's insane. So thumb goes in along the spine line. Make sure it's not off to the side. So as much down the spine as I possibly can. Foot goes in, kick it, and now this is it. So what I'm doing is I'm going palm like I'm going to slap him in the face. Is that
a good doggy? Bad doggy. This could be bad doggy.
So up here. Now use this foot, kick, spin. My elbows come together. Now, yeah, you can upgrade. Say he goes to mount. I'm like, oh man, as I spin, he chokes him. Right. So, like I said, one of the most underrated chokes in BJ. It's like a hidden choke. It comes around. Daniel, over here, please. So, playing from the seated guard, once again, is just thumb into the back of the collar, and this is my distance management. Right, so I've got the space. What I do like to do is kick, sit, and I put my 4 fingers in. Then you're just going to pass the guard. So as you pass the guard, lift your hands up. so that they can pretty much pass your guard to anywhere within reason, and you'll get the choke. The downflows, I can't have them go back. The secret to doing this is just go back. Stop. I'm in danger, go back. Like common sense that people don't have in BJJ. Right, so that, sorry. But, so, spine, kick, okay. Sit, transfer, hand. Okay. Punch high, get my hands together, turn. But then you get onto mount. I didn't get onto my back. You feeling pretty good there? Okay, turn the camera towards me, back. Squeeze. Yes. Yeah. You can see why people go to sleep.
Yeah, see stars.
And yeah, because it's kind of, it's winding it on the whole time you're moving, so you don't recognise that you're in a blood choke half the time. So by the time I actually squeeze, half the blood's already gone anyway. I'm like a vampire. Okay. Change partners. 1, 2, 3.
That's very nasty.
Oh, come on, it's jiu-jitsu. So, thumb in the back. Right, this is really hard to get my hand in here. Like, it's such an awkward, like, mechanic, get your hand in there. So all I do is I go, push, I slide under, and that's, it's just here. So, I'm gonna go, push, kick, slide, hand goes under, punch, turn, and let my partner go wherever you want to go. Disneyland. Okay, so don't try and put it in here. This is quite awkward. So what I find is that that leg's here, So I'm kicking to get that angle. And I find that and they're pretty much going like, man, what an idiot that they've allowed me to pass the guard. So I just find that that's so much easier to get in here. I find that that's quite an awkward kind of angle. And even if I do, my grip's not a really good grip on that either. Okay, what do you think? For the difference on that?
Yeah. So you're going under.
Exactly. The biggest issue is also one of the biggest assets is side control. Okay. So one thing is we have the side control and my thumbs in. Okay. Now I'll jump up for a sec. We've already worked out that to get my hand in is an awkward. This is quite awkward to get my hand in that position. But it's easy to put my hand in over here. So if I just kind of go, okay, in comes down, we're on side control, I'm in the good position to put my hand in. But there's no space. And that's the issue. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get Ian to come over my head. I'm trying not to push him up to rescue guard. So I plant my feet, I put my head on the ground, and I bridge it. I'm going to extend his hands as hard as I can, put my knee in. Thank you. Hand goes in. As I take my knee out, so we start. Thumb in the back. My hand's here. Once again, I just need to get my hand in position, but his body's too low. Put my head on the ground, plant, and it's 45 degrees this way, and I'm going to shove this as hard as I can up and out. So up and out. Put my knee through so I've got space. Put my hand through. Use my leg to kick, spin. I do like to protect so they can't go to knee ride, because one that can just go knee ride and grip fight. So I do like to bring my knees in. Secondly, is if Ian kind of goes into choke and lifts his head up, try and get out, I can go to the arm bar as well. Right, so if I have got options in there. As a general rule, they're not going to get out. If you set this up properly, it should be game over. So, thumb in the back. Okay, hands free, plant my feet, 45 degrees up, bridge, as hard as you can. Knee. This is the easiest asset you've got to get because it's right here. Kick, spin, elbows in. Right. Now, whatever you do, you must keep them tight to you now because it's choked set. Anytime they get separation from their head and my body, it's harder to finish. What I like to do is I like to just simply start to turn my hips down to finish the choke. Side control, one of the strongest chokes you're going to get from underneath side control. For me, one of the things that happens is they normally jump to knee ride to try and grip break an arm bar. If they jump to knee ride and you're confident, pull your arm in and out of side control, you're into a scramble. So the negatives almost become a positive kind of anyway. Okay, change partners, 1, 2, 3. Next one, cheat code. Once you're back in, cheat code. Don't recommend you do it, but it's a lot of fun. Full guard. Ian breaks me down, boom, here, push, inside the full guard, walk to the side, and choke him from inside his full guard.
Because I was going to do it to you.
No way.
Well, no, because I was going to grab up behind the neck.
Full guard, get broken down, thumb goes in.
Try and do it at the same time.
Okay, go.
Both of us.
I have more power because I've got everything, I've got the weight down on him.
Oh, yes.
I'll win this fight every single time.
Why don't you recommend to do it?
Because if they are savvy and they push,
The elbow? Yeah.
push, and hip escape your hips away from you, you're going to end up almost like a
Near
meal bar.
leg. Okay.
So this is why I like a risk versus a reward. Like if like, there's no one in the gym that's got a really annoying guard, but so a really annoying guard.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So think about it this way: put your weight on your elbow, come up on your tippy toes, walk, spin, back step. So you can actually finish the choke, full guard. Swap positions. Okay, yeah, jump up.
You did the crystal.
Crisscross. My guard. Okay. Same. Grip. Okay. Pull forward. hand goes in, switch, knee goes through. So now he can't do the choke. Back to me. Let him pass. Punch high, spin, finish. Punch high so you've got the space to finish. Right? So we'll go. So to stop my partner from sitting up, I like to have my hand in the back of the collar. So they're generally going to go up. I need to post up to get posture. That's because their hands are both down on my hips. So that's how I get access. Push them one way, spin, and use the choke. So if you're having trouble finishing, okay, push them past the guard, so they pass the guard. Okay, they're generally going to go chest to chest. So from here, punch, knees in, spin, finish. Okay, so in the guard, top and bottom, okay, underneath side control. And the last one's not really a clock choke, but this is just stay there. Stay there. So I've got the hand in the collar, but I'm having a lot of trouble finishing the choke. So I hand in the collar, like I'm having trouble, like he's got hold of the, and like, you know, I've lost the space. So this hand here goes onto this side and finish the choke from here. Right, so same thing, hand, so here, my hand, 4 fingers goes on this side. Punch and pull like a baseball choke. So this is like a reverse baseball choke. And here, as I do, he spins to get out of the choke. 4 fingers, thumb. So, one of the things I see is like, you know, I get this in the hand fight and like this is low. I'm having so much like, you know, like, so change the corner, 4 fingers. Punch, 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 lean back. To finish the choke. Okay. Let's try all of them, guys. So you've got the baseball choke guard top, baseball choke guard bottom, baseball choke from underneath side control, and baseball choke from on the back. 1, 2, 3. Great.
You've done that to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've definitely done that to me.
It's horrible, right?
Is it the same as like getting it right?
So here, so the part that people, so you get the collar, but the part that people make a mistake is that they put it here, put that right on that side, up. Yeah, so now push that forward, and now put, yeah, so even if I turn, I can't, yeah, because I'm turning into that. But if you put that together like that, but I can sit that space, you can, but you don't go hard as you can. Go hard as you can. Yeah, a lot of playtime for me to hand fight. When you grip this, I don't get anything to pull out. Well, your hand, so as soon as that hand comes through, I'm like, okay, but that's here. There's nothing for me to hand fight, and I'm just pulling the wrong one because it's that one that's choking my right. So I'm generally trying to pull this one off for you, as you're fucking cool. Put that leg over my shoulder, kick it down, and now. You've got arm bars and chokes as well. Yes! That's awesome. Yep.
4 fingers.
Thanks.